I have no idea, Patrick, how much it's worth. But I tell you what, I don't care how much it's worth. You're only interested in value if you're going to sell something, aren't you? I'm not going to sell it.
Well, can you talk me through your collection, please?
Well, yes, it goes back 9 reigns to King George III's coronation in 1761. And of course, George III, for those that don't know, was Queen Victoria's grandfather.
So it goes back until then, yeah? And then what are some of the other items that you've got?
Well, it goes through every reign. You know, George III, George IV, William IV, Queen Victoria, and all the way up to the present day. And of course, this weekend, Platinum Jubilee. I've been collecting Platinum Jubilee memorabilia.
David is very concerned to know whether or not you own, as he calls them, frocks. Yeah. Frocks from history, royal frocks. Do you have any of those?
No. Hey, I tell you what, Mr. Emmanuel, I wish I had one of the frocks that you made Diana. That would be good to go in the museum.
I should raise a lot of money for charity when Diana flogged off a lot of her gowns, you know, in New York.
Yeah.
We used enormous amount of money. So what have you got? You've got programmes then, have you? And banners? What have you actually got?
I've got, well, you name it, I've got it. You know, the usual crockery.
Well, start naming it.
Plates, things like that. Snuff boxes.
Oh.
Everything. You name it, I've got it. I've even got a pair of Silver Jubilee knickers.
Oh.
Sorry, hang on a minute.
Hang on. Belonging to who?
I want to ask, can we see them? But I'm reluctant to think about what happens next after we do that. I don't suppose they're to hand, are they?
Sorry, they what?
Are they to hand, the Jubilee silver knickers?
No, they're not, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been at a pop-up royal tea room, again raising money for a charity, Mr. Emmanuel. And the Silver Jubilee knickers are in one of the suitcases somewhere that are now in a pile in my house.
That's all right. Well, look, I mean, you're doing absolutely fantastically here. Why are you so... I don't want to use the word obsessed. That's negative connotation to it. Why are you so...
passionate.
Enthralled. Yes, passionate about the royal family, mate.
Well, I am obsessed, but...
Yeah, funny that.
No, go on, but why? Why are you so obsessed?
Well, there's a you know, I'm sorry to spoil this Friday night, but there is a serious side to it.
Oh,
and I am a monarchist. I'm a fervent believer in a constitutional monarchy as the form of government, and I will defend it with my last breath. And that is because of 45 years of research in the history of the monarchy that's gone all over Europe, of course, because of Queen Victoria, well, beyond Queen Victoria, actually. And, you know, I've discovered that the most stable nations in the world are those that have monarchies, and those that abolish the monarchies aren't stable. It's quite simple, really.
Can I ask a question? Do you keep everything at your home?
Well, I live on a farm, Mr. Emmanuel. I live on a farm, and my husband, John, got fed up with the house being clad with stuff, and he gave me the old dairy barn. So I've got 7,000 items in there.
Wow. And can people come and view them?
Well, yeah, by appointment. Well, not by appointment. You know, sometimes they just knock on my door. I live in a very rural area. Everybody knows who I am. And if they want to come and have a look around the museum, well, they can just come. But
have you been approached by other museums, like the V&A, the Victorian Albert Museum? Have they approached you for borrowing things?
No, but I'll tell you what, that's only because the V&A Museum don't know what I've got. And I think you might be interested in this one particular item of memorabilia.
Okay, go on.
That goes back to George IV's coronation. And it's a piece of material that was part of a garment that was worn at the coronation of George IV in 1821.
Wow. So it was a piece of what he was actually wearing at his coronation?
Yes, and I've got the provenance with it, because this piece of material was sent to a minister, an American minister, mind. It came from America, this. And it has the date on, and it has the name on. It's got a letter. So there's a letter, and I've framed it all.
Is that your favourite item?
No, not really. No. I'll tell you what, Patrick, my favourite items are not worth anything. And that's because they are items that have been given to me. About 60% of my collection's been given, donated, sometimes from, well, usually old ladies who have collected items and don't want them to go in the bin. But all of these things that I've been given have a memory. They're not my memories. They belong to the memory of the person who gave me them, and I'm the custodian of those memories.
Absolutely.
And I'll look after them.
And Anita, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. Stay where you are, because I'd like you to deliver a bit of a message for us, really. You know, the Queen, as we know, is feeling a little bit of discomfort at the moment and a bit under the weather, OK? Which means she's at home watching TV, presumably.
Yeah.
So which means, technically, she could be watching this right now, OK? She could be watching you. Imagine the Queen is right in front... Imagine the Queen's right in front of you now, Anita. What would you like to say to her?
Well, Your Majesty, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all of your years of service, not just 70 years of your reign, but you served the people before that. And I often play the recording of your speech as a 14-year-old to the children, the evacuees that were sent abroad during the war. And I'll tell you what, you have made my life. For the last 45 years, I've thought about you every day. And you might think that's a bit sad, but actually I do. And I try to live my life with Christian values, the same as you do. You've taught us all a lot, not just served us, but you've really taught us a lot.
Oh, my gosh, that is honestly just beautiful. So moving. Oh, my dear. Look, Anita, you are, well, I mean, we love you about as much as you love the Queen, I think, here at GBNews. So thank you so, so much. When you started that, I was originally going to make a joke about the fact that she's behind you now because you got a cardboard cutter. but it was so passionate that I didn't want to joke about it. So thank you very much, Anita. Look, I love you here. You're going to have to keep coming back for us, please. OK, so that's Anita Atkinson there.